This is the landing space. Nothing is off limits. I'm Kelly Schmidt, and this is the room where women land, tell the truth, and say it anyway. No armor, no shrinking, no performance. Just bold, honest conversations about love, power, ambition, reinvention, and everything in between. You're safe here. Let's land. When I was 4 years old, I almost drowned in my aunt's pool. It was nighttime. We weren't supposed to be outside, but I never really listened to rules anyway. There was a ball in the yard that I wanted to play with, so because it was dark, I didn't see it, I kicked it into the pool, and then I went in after it. Honestly, I've always been kind of the person who goes after things. When it's risky, even when I can't fully see what it's ahead. I don't remember panic. I remember stillness. Almost like I was watching it happen from somewhere outside of myself. Inside, my mom was doing a head count. She realized I was missing. She asked around. My cousin Carrie said she might be outside. And then my mom screamed. She knew. My dad and my uncle ran upstairs. They pulled me out of the water. They started CPR. And I came back, because here I am today. It's a story we talk about in my family. Not a lot, but the interesting part is I've never been afraid of water. Water heals me. I'm drawn to it. I, in fact, love it. I didn't fear it then, and I don't fear it now. But I've always carried this quiet sense that my life carries weight. I just didn't know what I was meant to do with it. See, years before my mom passed, I was already searching. I was in my seeking era, let's call it. I became yoga teacher certified. I was going to classes regularly. I was surrounding myself with women who were asking deeper questions. I felt pulled towards something more grounded, more spiritual, more connected. And in those circles, I found something I didn't even realize I was starving for. Community. Women sitting in a room together, talking honestly, sharing, listening, landing. My best friend since kindergarten, Amanda, came to a retreat with me. She experienced that same kind of circle. And when she went home, she said something that stayed with me. You're so lucky to have this. Because she couldn't find it where she lived. And I remember thinking, not every woman has access to a room like this. Even though I was in it, something still felt slightly out of reach. Like I was close to alignment, but not fully there. And then my mom got sick. She was in the hospital for 21 days with COVID, and we couldn't be with her. We FaceTime, but let's be honest, she was on a vent. All she could do was hear us. They claimed she could hear us. But that's not the same as holding someone's hand. She went through so much of it alone, and that part still breaks my heart. The first time they finally allowed us to see her, my dad was with her. He talked all about their life together, held her hand, stroked her hair. And after he left, she coded, and they couldn't save her. I fought. I advocated. I questioned the doctors. I pushed very hard. I did everything I knew how to do to try and keep her here. And when it still didn't work, I turned that fight inward. I was hard on myself in ways no one else could see. There's something about not being able to physically show up for someone you love that changes you. I carried guilt that wasn't logical, but it was heavy. And without realizing it, I started living smaller. Like part of me shut down the day that she did. From the outside, my life looked intact. I was functioning, achieving, showing up. But internally, I felt out of alignment. And that word matters, out of alignment. I was strong but unsettled, successful but searching. I remember one night sitting at home after everyone had gone to bed. The house was quiet. And I had this thought. Is this it? Is this what my life is supposed to feel like? I had built so much, but I felt like I was living on autopilot. I wasn't excited. I wasn't inspired. I wasn't connected. Quite frankly, that scared me. Because I've always been someone who goes after things. And in that season, I wasn't going after anything. I was surviving. I would wake up tired even after sleeping. I would numb out with food or beer instead of feeling. I would scroll instead of creating. I thought something was wrong with me. I thought maybe I was lazy. But I wasn't lazy. I was disconnected. Disconnected from my faith. Disconnected from my purpose. Disconnected from myself. And my body reflected that. I was carrying weight that wasn't just physical. I wasn't choosing me. I wasn't fully releasing what I was holding. The grief, the guilt, the pressure. Over time, my body carried it. But something interesting happens when you start telling the truth. When you stop performing strength, when you choose alignment, your body begins to shift too. And for the first time in a long time, things are coming together. Not because I forced it, but because I stopped fighting myself. For years, I questioned God. I compared myself to people who seemed solid in their belief. I felt like maybe God was just a story people told. Something comforting, something cultural. I knew there was something bigger than me, but I didn't feel connected to it. Until one sentence shifted me. If you can trust an Uber driver to show up when the app says they will, and then they do, why can't you trust God who has shown up for you your entire life? That hit. I realized I had faith in systems, but not in surrender. I was introduced to this amazing woman named Liz, who is a spiritual coach and now great friend. And in my first session with Liz, she asked me, when your mom died, did a part of you feel like it died too? With my eyes wide open and jaw dropping, the answer was an immediate yes. A part of me stopped living. I wasn't just grieving her. I had buried a version of myself with her. I had taken on responsibility that was never mine. And when I saw that clearly, everything shifted. I wasn't broken. I wasn't lazy. I was grieving. And disconnected women don't need fixing. They need reconnection. So I had a choice. Stay comfortable and keep performing strength, which comfortable, right? We all want to stay comfortable. Hell, that's not where we grow, though. Or seek alignment. I chose alignment, not casually, intentionally. I started asking better questions. I started investing in mentorship. I started confronting parts of myself I had avoided. And slowly, I started coming back to myself. And that's why the landing space exists. Not as advice, not as performance, but as a room. A room for women who don't have one. A room where nothing is off limits. Not grief, not ambition, not doubt, not faith, not money, not marriage, not the question of why we're here. Because when we stop pretending, alignment becomes possible. So if you're listening to this thinking, if she can get to this place, maybe I can too. You can. You're exactly where you're supposed to be. If any part of this feels familiar, you're not broken. You're becoming aware. And awareness is the beginning of alignment. And I am here for it. Nothing is off limits here. Nothing. Let's land.